Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Friends Podcast, man. Thank you so much for joining us. And if it's your first time, thank you for coming through. We appreciate you. I'm here with my co-host.
What's up? It's Jermaine.
And my name is Rod, and this is the Friends Podcast. Make sure you check us out. We're streaming everywhere: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our socials: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram at the Friends Pod. Make sure you check us out. We're gonna be coming out with new merch, a new live show, and things going on. So be on the lookout for all that. Keep your notifications on.
Yes, sir. Check us out. Check us out. So usually me, Rod, and Jermaine will chop it up about different topics that we want to talk about for the week or for the episode. But today we got a very special guest in the building. So go ahead and introduce
For
yourself.
sure.
Yeah. It's your boy Heff Banks, formerly known as D. Early from Chicago, Illinois. Yes, sir.
Thank you, man. Welcome to the podcast, man. We excited to have a good conversation with you today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So let's kind of get into it how we always do, man. Let's talk about our weeks this week. What's been going on with you, Rod?
This week I had to cheat on my barber, man.
Same.
Like
Same.
I had to get a cut today because I'm going to check out the fight later on with Javante versus King Ryan. So I had to get straight, and all my other barbers, they said they were busy and they had other things going on. I don't know what was going on, but I was like, yeah, I need this done right now. So,
And how do you feel about it?
I mean, it's smooth, but it ain't him. So it's cool. Like, but I ain't gonna be looking as crazy as I was, so I ain't tripping too bad on it. So what you feel on that, Heff Banks?
Same. I'm not pleased with the cut I received. That's why I have on my hat. Sorry, Barbara. But as far as my week is doing pretty well. I have a dog now. I'm a dog dad.
Ooh.
So,
what kind of dog?
I have a pit bull, a girl, female. And I'm getting my yard together for getting the fence built. So that's what I've been doing.
Okay, I need all the details on the dog. Like how old, what's the name?
Okay, her name is Six.
Ooh, Six
SYX. Yep, Miss Six. She's 8 months. And that's my baby. She's a sweetheart. She's gray and white. She's a blue nose. It's my baby.
Dog dad.
Yeah.
Can you leave the house? Can you leave the house with her still there?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she's a great dog. Like, the narrative and the stigma behind those dogs, very much not true. She's like the complete opposite of, what they say she is or she's supposed to be.
Are you training her? Or are you like, yo, I got a friend who can train dogs? Like,
I'm training her myself. Me and my girlfriend, we're doing it together.
Nice.
And this is like going really well. It's like the hardest part was like the early stages, maybe when she was 2 or 3 months. But now it's just like smooth sailing. Everything we're in the groove.
I had a German Shepherd puppy for like 2 weeks back in high school, which is a horrible idea to get a puppy in high school. And the hardest part was trying to train her because I'm just like not a disciplinarian. So after like 2 weeks, I was like, no, this dog is about to run me.
Right. So when I was younger, I had a Siberian Husky with a blue eye and a brown eye. And like I went through hell and high water trying to learn how to train a dog, so I was young, I'm a little older now. So, everything comes with experience. So like I said, we smooth sailing.
Yeah, having a puppy is legit like having a baby. It's the same thing.
Even now, like with her being 8 months, she's like, she doesn't realize how big she is, so she still wants to come lay in my lap. So, and I'm like looking at her like, I know this is uncomfortable for you. I'm fine, but I know this is uncomfortable for you, so I've been dealing with it that way.
Jermaine, what's been going on with you this week? Anything new with you?
The highlight of my week was I got lemon drunk this week. I've been really trying to chill on the alcohol. I really have. But man, I had a rough week. A couple lemon drops, that'll solve everything.
What's that? Just like vodka and lemonade or something like that?
No, I'm not a vodka girl. So I do it tequila lemon drop. Tequila always. It's a bad night if I'm on vodka. Bad night.
That's how I feel about tequila. Like shit, that should have made me violent. I'd be really like ready to fight somebody off the tequila.
Yeah, you never would mess with my my Jose back in the day.
That Jose Cuervo is foul. That shit is foul. But let's go ahead and get it. No, for real
The
though.
worst.
Let's go ahead
What
and
was
get
your
it.
drink of choice?
Right now, what have I been drinking lately? I've been drinking tequila lately. So
What brand?
Herradura, Casamigos, anything tequila. Honestly.
No Patron.
Mm.
Yeah, Patron.
How about your Terramana?
Yeah,
The Rock brand?
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's just smooth.
that's
Yeah,
like my
for sure.
favorite right now. Codigo, if you can find it, it's also fire.
You know LeBron James, the Lobos, I think it's 1017 or something like that.
Oh, I tried it.
That's really good too.
Oh man, that shit made me throw up.
Wow.
It was smooth, but it was too smooth. Like it had me acting
Right.
different.
It was
Like-
like extremely smooth.
But the taste wasn't like it was just it
Right.
didn't have like it had like those good notes of flavor.
Right.
Like
right.
that you would expect like from some like better tequilas for me.
How did I miss that LeBron had a tequila? I definitely need to put that on my list.
Yeah, he actually had like a little like soft party for it here in Chicago. I forget the venue that it was at, but I got a chance to go. Me and my girlfriend, we went together, and we did the tasting, so it was pretty cool experience.
So
Was he there?
Nah, I wish. I was praying he was gonna be there. I prayed on it. I'm not gonna lie.
If he was there, you really would have talked to him and been like, yo, like, big fan.
Honestly, I'm fortunate to have like family members like who's been somebody to the world.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with, going and try to introduce myself or, just, hey, Brian, appreciate what you did for the league. The example you set for young black men, stuff like that. It's easy to say that.
That's real. I just, if it was me, like, I would just try to figure out, like, what would I even say to him past that? Of course, you'd be like, yo, I fuck with your hooping. But,
Right.
What's next though? Like, where Brian at?
I really want to say something like, man, get a left hand, but that might be extreme.
I might be if I was to bring up something disrespectful, I'd probably say, so why you always be crying? Like after every call, like you mad after every time? Like what's wrong with you?
I'm not disrespecting Brian to his face.
There's not much you can really say about it,
Right.
for real. It's like
Right,
you're gonna bring up only a couple criticisms for real.
Right. I ain't gonna lie.
Plus, I'm a diehard Bulls fan, so
for real.
yeah, it's easy.
Okay.
Oh, so it's Mike over LeBron?
Oh, for sure.
Man.
What would it take?
I always be
though?
wondering.
What would it take?
I don't know. I just feel like, honestly, they both great, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? And they both great in their own respective ways. Like LeBron is like, like you said, he got shades of magic, so he wants to dominate, but also get his team in the game. Then you got, the Jordan way. I'm gonna get it done myself. So I think a lot of us like the way I don't know, like I'm just speaking for myself, really. I just like the way Jordan carried himself, and plus, like 30 years later, we're still talking about it. Yeah, I love the way Jordan carried himself, like the killer mentality. Like I love that.
Like on the
you
court.
gotta have it.
Oh,
Like,
on the court, okay.
Yeah, on the court, yeah.
Off the court,
Yeah.
I feel like he don't got like the best. Like,
Right. That's why I said like
I
I appreciate what like the role model LeBron has been like for everybody. No trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like just like been like a role model for excellence. You know what I'm saying? In a sense.
Most definitely.
But somebody like LeBron who is good on the court and off the court, like I feel like how can you compare a Jordan to someone like LeBron?
But see, like even now, like okay, let me ask you a question. Do you think like 20 years from now, kids will be wearing LeBrons the way we wear Jordans?
Hell no.
Yeah, I don't even like Jordans. Clunky ass Jordans. Y'all look stupid.
But LeBron's are spaceships though. Them motherfuckers big ass boats.
I don't believe it.
Me either.
Get you some bronze.
You know what's
way
crazy?
more comfortable.
I really want a pair of 20s to hoop in. I'm not gonna lie. Like I really do.
To hoop
I
in.
really do.
You said you said the word though.
Keyword.
We're not wearing what
See what I'm saying?
you know? what Dom Kennedy say? Don't wear LeBrons to the club. Them shit's ugly. You know what I
See
mean?
what I'm saying?
But okay, so Jordan over LeBron. Okay, I can respect that. But let's kind of get into the music though. Actually, before we get into the music, I kind of want to talk about, Heff Banks and just like, where you from? Kind of talk about like your upbringing and just kind of like talk about your childhood and everything you kind of went through to make you
All
into
right.
who you are today.
All right, cool. So I'm Heff Banks, formerly known as D. Hugh Early, from Chicago, Illinois, the East Side, with roots from the West Side.
Okay.
I started with the music. I got into music because of my cousins. I have two cousins in Crucial Conflict. If you guys ever heard of the group,
Yeah.
Wild Style and Kilo, those are my cousins. And I also have a cousin, Danny Boy, who was signed to Death Row.
Okay.
He was featured on Tupac's "I Ain't Mad at You." So I was in the studio early around music, not really knowing where I was or what I was doing, because I was with them. My family has always been close, so it's always been like nothing for me to hang with my older cousins and things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so once I got old enough, I started learning, about what music was, what they did, the blaze, the fight, the trail that they set, in the Chicago music scene and on the world, So
Yeah.
I was like, man, I played sports. I was good at sports, but it was just like, it wasn't, it's like scratching that itch. You know what I'm saying? And like music to me, it's like, every song is a challenge. And I like fell in love with the challenge, I feel like any artist can make a good song, but only like a select few are on a certain spectrum where everything they put out is like, even if it's for a time, it's like, it's that, you know what I'm saying? So like, that's what like really makes me want to do music and has drawn me to music. And like the way like my entire life was set up, I kind of feel like I was made for it. And what I mean by that is like, like I said, I'm from Chicago. I stayed on the block Dante, and all of my friends stayed on the next block over, which was Harper.
Mm-hmm.
There's 12 of us. One has a degree in film. One has a degree in show pro and lighting. One has a degree in audio engineering. Like, so two more of my friends are photographers.
Let's see, the whole team.
You see what I'm saying? And two more of them are DJs. So like, and one he passed, his name was Rico. He was the promoter. He had the mouth. He was the mouth. Like he was the guy. Like if he was here today, he can walk up to any one of you guys and have an hour-long conversation. And like everybody's just like, if you're from Chicago and you're from our area and around our age, you know him, you know of him, and you loved him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just looking at all of these things and I'm just like, wow, it's kind of like, it's kind of like, it's been laid out for me. And once everybody like, kind of realized their role, like everything became easier with doing music. And yeah, that's me.
So far for you, you were talking about how artists create that record for that time. Mm-hmm. You feel like you created that record yet?
That's a good question. I would say, I don't think so. I've created records that have like moments. It's like, another thing out of my group of guys that I just mentioned, two more, I'm in the group as well. So I'm a solo artist and I'm in the group. And we are
what's the group name?
Flavor Gang.
Flavor Gang, okay.
So
what's the other crew members to shout them out?
Stunner Man Cooley, big shout out my boy. Shout out Izzy Sahir, that's my other guy.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to my
boy. When did y'all start up that?
I'm sorry. I have another cousin that was in Crucial Conflict as well, the DJ.
Okay.
His name is Q-Ball.
All right.
I forgot about that. I'm sorry. And at one point, Q-Ball was managing the group. So he would take us, like on tour with the flick. Like they would bring us out on their set and perform and stuff like that. Like really getting us acclimated to, the things that they've been through. You know what I'm saying? So like getting our feet wet,
Mm-hmm.
So we did that for a while. And let me see. We did that for a while, and then we like I said, the point I'm trying to make is about moments. Like so, we had a song called "Show Out," you know, and it actually became kind of big. We was on 107.5, 92.3. The song was getting played at the Big Jam. I think this was a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago. The song was getting played at the Big Jam. It's called Show Out. We actually had like, it made its way into like a few high schools in Chicago. We had kids doing the Show Out challenge. You know,
and this
so
was
like,
about like how many years ago? Like a couple years ago?
Probably like 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
like pre-COVID?
You know, yes, yeah, for sure.
Cool.
For sure. So like it was like around like those times, and like recently I just did a song on my Too Early project. It's called Nah N-word. I don't know if we can curse, so I don't want to curse.
Yeah, we can curse.
Go ahead.
Okay, it's called Nah Nigga. You know, produced by Two Sticks, who's also my brother. We grew up together. That's another one of the guys who grew up on the block right behind me. You know what I'm saying? And that song like had a big moment too. You know, once again I was on 107.5. Got an interview on 92.3 about the song. You know, and it kind of like really did its thing. So like I would say like that song. That
Showtime was the biggest moment for real.
Yeah, Show Out. Yeah, for sure. Show Out. Sure. Yeah, for sure. Because it's like a fun song, you know, dedicated like for the women, you know, to get out there and move.
So did it have like a dance to it?
Nah, not really. You know, just show out how you show out. You know, the dance was whatever dance you wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So like that's what kind of made it like the Show Out challenge. You know.
So what the girls do?
What they supposed to.
Good answer.
Yeah. Okay. You know, I kind of want to take it all the way back though. So like, you know, when you was first really starting to rap like as a solo, so when you first started to rap, was it in Flavor Gang?
Nah, I actually was a solo artist. So what I was doing was like, when I first started rapping, like I wouldn't say I'm a perfectionist, but I kind of like, you know, I hold myself to a high standard. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So before I even came out with anything, I was watching the people before me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like I learned to like be a real student of the game. Like they told me like learn as much as I can, learn how to do as much as I can. That way, you know, like you're not really needy. You know what I'm saying? Like so I produce, I engineer myself. You know what I'm saying? I do my own artwork. You know, I put everything together myself. I send my own email blasters out. You know, like everything.
Everything.
So, like, everything.
One man shot.
You learned how to do all that yourself?
Yeah, like, you know, studying, watching interviews, asking questions. Like, and that's another thing. Like out of all of my family, like before me, I don't ask for anything. I ask for knowledge. Yeah. And I feel like they respect that way more than anything that they can do for me. You know what I'm saying? So once they see me like doing my thing or taking the knowledge that they gave me and utilizing it into what I'm doing now, that's when conversations open up even more. You know what I'm saying? So I always took that approach. And, you know, like, I think like that's one of the things that got me to where I am today.
And I was going to ask, like, back in the day, you know, when you was first starting, like, you know, you said like people was giving you knowledge, but was they telling you about your bars, like your cousins, your family?
Yeah, for sure. Like the one thing they told me, they was like, you can rap your ass off, but you can't make a song. They told me that like off back. So I was like, so I started looking at artists who people said like, who are good lyricists that don't make good music. So I started going to listen to like those type of artists, like Oneness from Making a Band, Cassidy. You know, like for real, like
they got Cassidy got hits though.
Like he do, but he got misses too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm like, all right, cool. Like I understand what you mean. Yeah. You know, like so I was using it like you know like that. I hate to say Cassidy, but you know he's a great legend. You know whatever. He got misses too for sure. But that was like the thing. Like I always had bars and could rap, but I just could never make a good song. You know, in the beginning. So they was like, you know, put me on like, yeah, get your shit together.
So what'd you take away when you started, you know, researching and looking at like, okay, this is what somebody like Cassie did. Like, what did you decide? Like, I want to do different than him. Like, where do you feel like he went wrong?
So what I just started doing was I hate to say dumbing it down, but sometimes less is more. You know, so like what I do is like I do me still. I pop my shit, you know, put my bars in there, but I also make it fun too. It's everything is not like lyrical here, there. You know, I do have those songs where it's like I pour my heart out on the song, talk about my situations and stuff, you know. But for the most part, I just try to make it make fun music, rap music stuff, something for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'm sorry to cut you guys off, but I think that's, if you listen to my project too early, like that's a big rep. Like it represents what I mean by I just try to do all types of music and make it fun. Also lyrical as well.
Yeah, getting into like your studio and how you record. What's it like when you record? Do you have like a lot of people in the studio, or is it just
right here? Well, where we are now? I wish I can show you
just
guys.
Only you, just like
and
like you record everything.
Yeah, let me see if I can just turn the camera around so you guys can see the space.
All right, for the audience, he got his own studio. He got everything set up. He got the speakers, the monitor, the mics. For the audience, all the listeners, things of that nature. Yeah, he got all the equipment there. So you making the beats and doing all of that, huh?
Yeah, but for the most part, like I lead making the beats to Two Stick and the Too Early project. I'm sorry to cut you off, but the Too Early project, it was a collaborative with me. My name was D.U. Early, Two Sticks, Too Early. We put it together, and the entire project is produced right now.
Okay, that's what's up. So like you mixing and mastering everything, all that?
Yep, for sure, everything.
Talk about that process though, because that's something I make beats, myself, and like I think that's probably the hardest part, just getting the levels right and getting everything to sit in the mix, as good as possible. But so talk about like you learning about that and like how long it took you to like.
Man, it took me forever. Like I said, I was fortunate enough to have a friend, who went to Full Sail and got a degree. Yeah. So, like you a fool if you sit around people who have knowledge about things and don't pick up on it. Like you're a fool. There's no other way to put it. You know what I'm saying? So watching them, learning, like him and from my guy Nietzsche, that's the guy who has a degree in film, shoots the videos and stuff for us. So like he does engineering as well, so I just really sat back and watched, and asked questions like if I really wanted to know something, hey bro, how you do this? Like, I'm always searching for knowledge, especially about the music and, because it's changing up in our face, especially to right now, it's like it's been moved completely away from what it was 5 years ago. So like I said, I'm always searching for knowledge and just trying to figure out ways to be better. And like I figure like if I cut costs on recording, artwork, beats, I can put that money into promotion.
And where do you see music going to? Like what's the sound that you think is going to be next? I don't know.
But what I will say is this. It's so many subgenres of like hip hop today. Like I believe like there's a lane for everybody because you got your Benny the Butchers, then you got your Yeats, then you got your Roddies, you know what I'm saying? Then you got your Dirk. So it's like I feel like the good part about music and it's like everybody has a lane. It's wide open. Like I feel like it's no age limit on music anymore. Like that's how I truly feel.
Can we kind of talk about that? I want to talk about because you mentioned Lil Durk, and I was kind of curious since you are from Chicago, like, like what's the state of Chicago music now? Because Chicago niggas started the wave, this whole drill wave that's been, like still bubbling up in New York, and then Jacksonville got their drill, Memphis kind of got drilled. Like, kind of talk about how that felt back then, and then just like kind of what's the state of Chicago music, right now.
Like what's crazy is like Chicago is very big, but it's very small as well. Like I hate to say that, but it's like I grew up about a mile away from O Block. OB, that's further east. Like so O Block is basically like off King Drive, and then you got Cottage, and then I'm by Stony. So, what I'm saying? Like I said, about a mile away from O Block. And the crazy part about it is like most of the rappers, the shooters, like we all grew up playing sports together first. Yeah. Before the game banging was a thing. But as I've gotten older, I realized it's a Chicago cycle. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is broken off into sections. Even with like the races, like different races. Like for instance, like if I'm going to a certain area in Pilsen, I know that area is dominated by Mexicans. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Sure. Or if I go to a certain area over east, I know that it's Polish people in this area. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a melting pot, but it's like everything is not mixed. So it's like certain things that I feel like I said, it's a cycle is going to always continue to happen because of the way it's set up. You know what I'm saying? So the drill wave, like watching it happen, we didn't know like what was going on. Like for instance, like when Chief Keef first started like bubbling, like we was like is he really getting as many views in a day? Like is this really going on? Like I remember at one point like the Chicago blogs, they thought he was doing so many views in a day, they thought like the views were bought.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like to like and then like to watch Sharice, you know, Louis, you know, Rocky, YP, you know, people like them like get deals and stuff. It's like, wait a minute, like we really started something. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like looking back on it, like even the producers like Seasick, you know, like it's beautiful to watch the things that they were able to do coming from where we came from.
I want to stop you right there for a moment. So right then when Chief Keef broke through, what was the talk like then? Because it seemed like everybody from Chicago wanted to come out with their own drill after Chief Keef.
You know, like I think it was just like that to the outside because like some of the names I mentioned got signed around the same time as Chief Keef. Like, and they, although they might not be as big as Chief Keef is to the world, they still were great artists. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I said, it was like it was a different slew of artists that got signed as well. And like it was to be honest, like the vibe in the city, that was one of the best times because everybody felt like we all had a shot. Mm-hmm. Like every artist, like especially around that time, like if you guys are familiar with Facial Drive, like that was like the number one. If you was an artist at that time, and like that was one of my problems. Like that's what made me start feeling for knowledge. I was making that website, getting write-ups by Andrew, not knowing how big the website was. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, they had to come tell me, like, do you know who just posted you? I'm like, nah, like I see it, but I don't really understand what's going on. Yeah. So once I started diving deep into Facial Drive, that's when I started finding out about Chance, you know, Alex Wiley, you know, like artists like that, like, you know, so it's like, you know, like, and those are completely different artists from Chief Keef who all started bubbling, you know, really started taking off around that time. So that's why I said like the vibe in the city was like, if you was
I think of them as like a lot later though, like the
they
Chance
was,
the
but what I'm saying is like, if you know, like, and you're in tune with the Chicago music scene, they were there then. You know what I'm saying? Like their time.
So early days.
Right.
They were there.
There.
But they weren't as known.
They wasn't. That's what I'm saying. So like the point I'm making is like if you were an artist in the city, right? What Chief Keef, Dirt, and all of them did, it made you work. It made you, you know, I feel like them
because you saw the possibility.
Exactly. I feel like that pushed them through. Like it was motivation. Like if you are a person who truly wants to succeed and see other people do well, what they didn't do anything but motivation.
Yeah, and I think sometimes too it's hard when you're from, you know, cities that aren't the coast. Like I feel like folks in like LA and New York and now Atlanta, you feel like you could get on, but in a lot of the Midwestern cities, Southern cities, it felt like, well, then you can only get so big in this city. You know, you really can't be national, you can't be international, nobody really makes it out. So I think just seeing that one person kind of break through inspires other people to realize like, oh shoot, other people mess with this sound too.
Right, for sure. And then like to see like the effect he had on the world afterwards, it's like like
all these years later
still, you know, like, and like it's dope to see, you know, because it was authentic. He was just being himself. Like it wasn't a gimmick. It was literally like this how we was living, this how, you know, we was brought up, and
he was a kid
taking it to leave. Right. You know, like I can recall an interview, like they asked him how old he was. He said he was 300.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it don't get no more authentic than that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Obla.
You feel me? So
I'm curious. So you mentioned at the beginning that you're from the east side of Chicago, but you have roots on the west side too. And so I'm curious, like in Detroit, for example, you know, east side and west side have very different reputations. So I'm curious, like what the east side is known for, what the west side is known for, and what you pull from both sides.
So that's a great question. So to me, the west side shows more love, it's more unity. Like if it's an issue with anything, it's literally probably over something somebody did wrong. You know what I'm saying? the East Side don't show us as much love, but it's like you learn to keep your head like on a swivel. Like you learn, like I can't really explain it because it's kind of like the best. The East Side is kind of like the best of both worlds because you got mansions over East, but you also got low income over East as well. So it's kind of like you learn both sides of the fence a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
In Chicago, it's interesting because like neighborhoods are right next to each other. Like you said, you'll see mansions and then like the projects like 2 blocks over.
Blocks down. Yep, for sure. But like I said, I feel like it gave me a balance. The East Side gave me a balance. I was able to see, you know, like if you do well, this is where you can be. If you don't, you know, adjust, this is where you can be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's literally a few blocks away. So like I learned like, you know, like my street sense and, you know, like how to maneuver and keep my head on the swivel out over East, and like out West, it was just like straight love. Don't get me wrong, it get grimy out there too. But, you know, for like I said, for the most part, it's like it's more love for sure out West. And they more close knit. Like
you think it's a comparison between like the hype behind Dreams and Nightmares and the Meek Mill and the Bitches Love Sosa song from Chief Keef? Is that like y'all hype song like that? Any place or any party that song comes on, everyone gets hype?
Nah, for us, the Chief Keef song is Finito.
Ooh, that's yeah.
That
was later on, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I'm just saying, like for Chicagoans, you know what I'm saying? Like if I don't care what time in the party, if Finito get dropped, it's up.
I was about to say in Detroit, I think the same thing. That's the way how I would feel if I hear Finito out.
No, yeah,
it's up.
What's the other Chicago tracks that it's up?
Oh, that's a good question. You know, one thing I will say is Chicago. We listen to like a lot of artists. Like a lot of Southern artists are big here. You know, like they love Moneybagg here. You know, like they love Gucci here. Like, you know, they love Wayne here. So it's like, I don't know. It's like it's. That's a great question. Like I really can't even think off the top of my head right now. Like, but like I know once Finito get played, it go up. Nah.
Kanye, what? Stop it. They probably play some juking music before Kanye, to be honest.
So,
yeah, I was gonna say, like, you mess with house?
Yeah, for sure. House music, yeah, it go up anytime, like, you know, house music come on for sure. Like I said, I got friends who DJ. I should know this. When they watch it, they're gonna be mad at me. But because I should know, you know what I'm saying? Like I should know. But house music for sure. Slow jams as well here. Like R&B, like as violent as the city, you know, it seems like, hey, we love some R&B. Like,
yeah, you guys got a strong hustle culture. Strong.
For sure.
I thought you was talking about Twist or Slow Jams.
Nah. But that go up too though. That go up too though, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
That's interesting. But I want you to talk about, like, you know, like continuing on with, you know, talking about drill and Chief Keef and all that type of stuff. But, you know, what do you see the landscape of Chicago music being like now? Because right now, I mean, Lil Durk is really, he's still making noise, but right now it's not like super crazy Chicago, like everybody paying attention to Chicago right now. So I just kind of want to see your opinion on, like, do you feel like if it's in a good spot or not?
One thing I will say is, like, it's so many talented artists here. Like, man, like it's like a lot of people like really doing their thing on the low. I wouldn't even say on the low, like it's a lot of people doing their thing. You know, it's like if I could think of some names off the top of my head, I'd say like Lil Blessing. I think he was just on tour with G Herbo. He was bringing them out on the set.
Okay.
OG Steve-O. Like, yeah, it's people like I said, like really doing their thing. And I feel like if we get the light again, it's just gonna take one artist again. You know, like, and once we get the light, it's a lot of people gonna break through as well. I truly feel that way.
Most definitely. And I do kind of want to ask, you know, we're gonna get off to Chicago in a second, but I just want to see, like, was you ever like doing drill music and stuff like that? Was that ever like your vibe or your music back then?
Nah.
Like, no, it wasn't really your.
Nah.
Okay.
So like, and I believe like that was one of the reasons why I was on Facial Drive. Like I think my very first post that I got from Andrew, he was saying like my music was a breath of fresh air. because I wasn't talking about drill, wasn't doing drill.
That's dope. That's dope. So like what parts of Chicago do you pull from? You know, like you said, your cousins, you know, Crucial Conflict and stuff like that. But what other what's your inspirations, the music that you pull from?
Just like everybody, and like I have my favorites, of course, like artists, you know, that I pull from as well. But like I said, I'm just I love being knowledgeable, very teachable, you know. So and I'm very I just love to practice and perfect my craft. So not anything that I kind of like, but if I'm oh, that's kind of cool, you know, how can I do it my way? You know, I'll, you know, do it like that. So basically my style is just a bunch of people in one. I would say a bunch of people, but just vibes in one. And it's just me.
Is there a particular artist whose career you would like to model yourself after? Like maybe not their style, but how they've moved?
How they move. Vince Staples a little bit. He do you know, I seen him in I think it was a Hyundai commercial.
Yeah, he's getting
you know
money.
What I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's different. You know, and he's not the biggest rapper, but you know, he's consistent. He does his thing, pop his shit, and you know, he's secure in them brand deals. You know, that's what I want to do. Because to be honest, I want to use I have a very good eye for talent, and I feel like I have a great ear. You know, especially when it comes to beat selection. That's one of my I pride myself on that. I gotta have a good beat. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is what I really want to do is break through for myself, so I can find other talent and put other people. You know, that's really my ultimate goal, honestly. So that's. Go ahead.
Oh my bad. And when it comes to beat selection, since you just mentioned that, so what is it that you look for? Is it, do you need the melody to be just right? Is it the 808's got to hit crazy?
And you know what? I don't know. It's just something that gotta it's a feeling because the music just started flowing. Once I hit the right beat, even 260 tell you he'll play me about 15 beats. Nah, to the next one, right quick, to the next one. He'll be sitting over here with the worst face, bruh, come on, bro, just play 15 beats for you, and I'd be that's the one. And then when I say that's the one, you get songs like Luxury, you know, Lil Freak featuring Danny Boy, you know, and Nan Nigga, you know, stuff like that. And Super Slides.
And putting together a project, so what is that process like? Is it something where you just record hella songs and then just kind of pick the ones, or do you I'm gonna record 15, I'm gonna drop 15?
So because you know, I kind of do everything myself, you know, I try to record every day. So I try to get at least one song a day, at least one. And it sounds not like a good rate, but the way I work to perfection. So I'm trying to make, I wouldn't say a hit, but I'm trying to make the best song possible. You know, I'm not coming back to it. I'm gonna finish this song. You know what I'm saying? In its entirety. So I work like that, and I would just say that's kind of my forte, my formula.
Wait, but you don't think one song a day? That's a great rate to me. That's 365 days.
Yeah.
So so I that's cool. You know, and then I'm sorry, I didn't even finish my answer. I try to do a song a day, and then I try to pick a batch of songs that fit what I'm trying to do at the moment, and then I just pick for my songs, you know. And then if I want to add a new one, I do that. So the tape that I released, I think I dropped it last year. All the songs except one was 2 years old. So all of it was old music.
Yeah, what exactly are you working towards? Are you working towards more singles or EP or project?
So I'm just trying to figure out a formula, you know, what I did was I promoted my tape for a while, and then I dropped it, and I've just been looking at the data. So I just been seeing what songs people are vibing with the best, and that's kind of how I'm gonna construct my next project to fit the mold of the songs the vibes that they were vibing with from the two early projects.
How many tracks you thinking that'll be?
5. I'm gonna do a couple of 4 or 5 EPs in a row just to get music out and keep, you know,
with videos and everything like that.
Yeah. So and even with that, going back to my tape, before I even announced the date, I had 5 videos shot. You know what I'm saying? So I shot, I think 2 in LA, 2 in Atlanta, 1 in Chicago. You know, stuff like
so that. I want to go into this different segment, and we're gonna bring up a few of your tweets and stuff.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, we were checking out your Twitter, and
That's horrible. I don't take Twitter serious at all.
yeah, we just wanted to bring up a couple and just get your broader thoughts on it.
Okay.
All right, so the first one we got here that we had saw, it's almost free the cheeks weather.
I love y'all. but you I have an interesting story. You want me to explain?
Yeah. Just
okay, so boom. All right. So remember I was telling you basically it's 12 of us, you know what I'm saying? 11. One passed away. So when we all figured out our roles, we said we're gonna start throwing parties as Playhouse ENT. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we all start coming together, collectively, to invite our friends outside of our circle together to throw parties. And one of our friends, he got arrested. And so we didn't want to have a party. So we was trying to think of a party theme to help raise money to get him out. Mm. So, but we didn't want to put like a free him party. So we was like, what could we do? So we named the party Free the Cheeks. A dedication to free Izzy. That's right. It was Izzy, right? Free dedication to Izzy. So like that, and that was actually on the cover. So two of my guys, Nishi and Jet, these are just a videographer and a photographer. They just got a photo studio with an event space. So we're going to throw another Free the Cheeks party in their event space. So
Well, how do you feel about that?
How do I feel about it?
No, the dude, like you said, free him.
Oh, that's our boy. He got him out. He loved it.
Dude, that's what matters.
We freed my boy.
That's what matters. The cheeks.
So it's like because it worked. It's like we couldn't throw away the thing. We couldn't throw it away. We had to keep it.
Wow, that's a great story behind that though, because it really just seemed like you just tweeting, like you were just on Twitter one day, like, all right.
Tripping. And I do that on Twitter sometimes. I just be tripping,
All right, so this next one here. A lot of you niggas are strong black women.
All right, break it down. Break that one down.
Simple. They act like females, act like too many men act like women. Strong black women. Gotta give it to them.
Do the women act like men sometimes too? Like you feel like it's switching sometimes? Like it's
For sure. Yes.
Did you see something that day that just made you be like, you know what? No, I gotta get this tweet off.
Yeah, I can't say that though.
Okay.
He gonna know.
Can't say that.
All right, so we're gonna make this the last one. All right, so this is hilarious.
There's a lot of good ones though. I ain't gonna lie.
I was gonna say, I hope you picked the one I'm thinking of. You better pick the right one.
Oh man, well there was the essence. There was something like, I love, especially back love. There's no words to say.
Wait, if we're only doing one more, I think we need to do the one that's after that.
Let's do that one.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's do that one.
Go ahead and introduce
it. Let's get right to it.
Okay, so this one also had no context. It was, this man ain't never zooty on himself at the club.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Y'all killing me here. I love it though. I love it. This is amazing.
No.
So remember the guy who went viral at the club for Dookie in the club?
No.
What? You guys didn't see that?
No.
What? It was the guy. He was going viral because apparently he shitted himself in a section of the club. So it was like all over the internet, guys. Like I do not know how you missed it. Like I don't know how you missed it.
No, this must have been on some Chicago algorithms because
probably so. And so like they after like I watched the video and I just see him standing in the corner with a coat over him, like in front of him, you know, with the worst look on his face ever. And so people recorded him like he ain't never just shit in the club. They got their phones out like, oh my God, he shitted. So I was like, so instead of saying Dookie, you know, me being who I am, you know, silly, you know, I'm like, he ain't never Dookie on himself in the club. That's how that came about. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Shit.
This was hilarious. Oh my God. Oh my God.
No, but I ain't gonna lie, because I was scrolling through your Twitter, just like I was really laughing though, because that's a crazy situation. Oh my God.
Oh my Jesus. Y'all got me hot over here, man. That was amazing. I didn't even realize, like, my friends tell me, like, I need to tweet more, but, like, I don't take them serious, though.
Oh, we could have done, like, a whole half an hour segment on just your tweets. We had a lot stacked up. We had a lot.
Oh, my God. Can we do one more? I guess I really like this, so, like, I'm fucking with it.
Yeah, let's do one more.
Y'all want to do one more? We can do one more.
Yeah, let's do one more. This one, I don't know. I just thought this was funny. You said, I can't even. I don't know if I can read this shit. You said, motherfucker said the weather feel good today, not feel, but feel.
Oh my God. Oh, all right. Okay. So, boom. All right. One of my things on Twitter is like, I always say like motherfucker said, but it really be me saying it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I never incriminate myself. You know what I'm saying? So I was saying like, you know, like out west for sure it's like a big pill popping culture. And like it really comes around a lot in the summertime. So I was like, instead of it feel good outside, it peel good outside. You know, so like, you know, it feel good enough to pop a pill outside. So, like that's where that tweet came from.
Okay, I was thinking a totally different way. I thought somebody did another word. Like, you don't know how to say feel? Oh my God.
Oh
Man.
wow.
Do you feel like y'all got the best lingo? Like Chicago?
No, I feel like I have the best lingo. Like for sure. Like my friends call me the lingo lord, for sure.
Your lingo from Chicago though, right? But you feel like like individual lingo is like the best.
Yeah, my individual lingo. Like, yeah. Like me and my friends can have a conversation and you guys wouldn't understand nothing I'm saying.
See, that's why we had to ask you about the tweets. Because we were like, okay, I feel like there's either it's some Chicago slang we aren't hip to or some.
So yeah. I like
one about the girl like that we had saw. That one was hilarious.
The one about the girl.
Do you remember what it said?
He said, I hate when blah, blah, blah.
Oh. Damn. This one might be, we might have to cut this one out, but he said, he said, hate seeing niggas bitches. Hate seeing niggas bitches. Is that the one you talking about? Right.
I think so.
Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to break that one down, but he said, you said 4 words, hate seeing niggas bitches.
Hate seeing niggas bitches.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exactly what it means.
Right.
I hate seeing other niggas bitches. Like, you know.
Okay.
Why? Like, I don't know. They look bad
being weird. Yeah, being weird. Like, it's a Chicago thing. You know, like, you know how you got the same girls and stuff like that. Like, go be with your man while you outside.
That's what you meant. Got you.
Okay. No, that's real. Okay. Damn. But that concludes the Heff Banks tweets segment. I think that was super dope. Great tweets.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So let's kind of get, wrap this up and, kind of get into, more about the music. So what can we expect in the future? So I know you was talking about like the EPs and stuff like that. Videos going crazy, but do you want to, like, what do you see in the future for yourself with this rap shit?
So like this is how I truly feel. I feel like rapping is like music in general, like trying to make it it all comes down to like getting in the rooms, getting in the right rooms, and getting around the right people. And it's like every time I get in like rooms or around the right people, it's like I always come back like, man, you dope, you this, you just need to get the right eyes on you. So that's really what I'm just working towards right now, getting the right eyes on me. And what really opened my eyes to that was I went to Atlanta for the first time. I went to it was like, guys, this was the process literally. I booked the flight to Atlanta. I said, I'm going to go record at Shooty's X. I'm like, I'm going to get the head engineer I don't know if he's still there, but the head engineer at the time was Shotty Fresh. You know, that's a Bankroll Fresh producer. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I'm just going to get in here. I'm going to pop my shit on the song and I'm going to see where it takes me. You know, so I had the studio. We booked like a 6-8 hour session, but it was 3 of us sharing the time. It was me and 3 other guys sharing the time. So we all got 2 hours apiece. So for the first 6 hours of the session, Shotty Fresh said nothing. All he said was, "You done? You good? You know, everything cool?" So it was my turn to record. The first song I did was it's called "Bought It All." I actually released it on streaming platforms under the name D. Hugh Early. And once I did that song, he started talking. You know, and by the time by the time my time was up, he was following me on IG. I had his email. He had did a collab beat with my producer 2 Six. So I was like, this is like in 2 hours, you know what I'm saying? So like, after, even before we left, it was like other producers there and other, like the A&R from TRU, the Real University, Big Southside. I left with a follow from him as well. We was talking back and forth in the DM. So I was like, wow, like that, like I said, just me getting in the right rooms, I feel like it's going to get me to where I need to go.
Now, I was going to ask, you know, kind of, you know, off of that. So, you know, within your future, do you see something, you know, in media? Because I know you mentioned Vince Staples, and one thing I like about Vince Staples is like he's very opinionated, and I like hearing his opinion on things. You know, I feel like he kind of think a little bit differently with some certain things. But do you see that in the future for you, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna be a talking head, you know, maybe for NBA, or you know,
I wouldn't say that, but like one thing I have realized is like people do gravitate towards me. And, you know, like once I feel comfortable, like, you know, I'm kind of, you know, silly and like fun to be around. So I just like was trying to figure out, like, I'm in the process of figuring out, like, how can I use that? You know, how can I use that to like spread, you know, positivity, you know, a hustler's mentality, you know, all of that in one. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like me continuing to build on the things that I'm building on and me thinking the way I think, and putting like even like the way I move with all my guys intent, and like how would this move affect, you know what I'm saying, like all of my guys, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like me having that mentality, like I'm gonna eventually figure it out. I always do.
So I'm gonna wrap it up with this question here. What's the pros and cons of being a rapper for you?
I'm gonna start with the cons. Like, it's a lot of people, like, I would say I'm a very popular person, but like my presence off the internet is way bigger than it is on the internet. So it's like, I wish I can like be at more events, you know, like spend more time with like people that, you know, like just kicking the time. But like the pros is like, you know, not having that kicking the time, like keep me out of a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, and keep me focused. And like, I'm always, I would say doing something, and I would say I'm always doing something big. But like when people ask me, they ask me like, man, do you have you sign, right? You sign to a management, and I'm like, nah, like they can't believe I'm doing everything by myself. So like that's why I only try to record 1 song a day, because I'm thinking ahead on album covers, you know, art covers, you know what I'm saying? Like how I'm gonna put this promo plan together, like what PR people am I gonna invest with to push this product out? You know what I'm saying? So like,
so you only make like 1 song a day. You don't have like a time where
like sometimes I do more, you know, like sometimes. Yeah, sometimes I do like more than 1 song, but like at the minimum it's like at least 1 song a day. Like
what about like
full complete song?
What about like features or anything like that? Do you typically do features, or are you looking for other people or artists to jump on? Like, what are you looking for in that type of?
I actually got like, that's why I said like my catalog is so big. I got features with like a lot of people like just sitting waiting till I want to put them out. I got features with Backwood Jones. You guys ever heard of him? Or he went by the name YP. I think he was signed to like Atlantic at one point in time, Atlantic Republic at one time.
Okay, I'm gonna check that
But
out.
I got a feature with him. Young Gifts, he was rotating with Freddie Gibbs a long time ago, probably like 7 years ago. But he was
Okay.
I got a feature with this woman, her name DK the Spitter, Antonio Juan. We got 2 features together. You know, I'm always down to collab. You know, and
Is it organic or like?
Yeah.
How do you normally?
Yeah,
Get the
I try to
features?
make
Do
it.
you contact the manager or do you meet them like an everyday moving around?
So like a couple of like like I said, like I'm a student and like I try to use, you know, like my relationships to, you know, help me out. So I got the feature with YP because my cousin knew him. And then Young Gifts also actually knew him as well. So I told both of them, I'm like, man, you know, I want to get YP on this song, but I don't think he gonna respond to me. I'm like, I'm gonna send y'all the song. Y'all let me know what y'all think and if it's worth sending it to him. So I sent them the song. They was like, oh, this is gone. I'm sending this one right now. You know what I'm saying? And then we end up meeting at the studio. And his words was like, man, I heard your verse and it like made me jump up. I was nodding off. And it kind of woke me up. You know what I'm saying? So once I heard that, and he said the same thing that I said earlier, like you just need the right eyes on you. Like your style, the way you approach music is like you just need to be sane and you're out of here. And you don't need like any coaching. You good on stage, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. So
it's big.
Like, yeah, for sure. So like like I said, I'm just a pair of eyeballs away, honestly.
And where does this style come from?
Just me being me. A lot of my lyrics is like real life events, you know, and like it might sound far fetched, but like if you know me, like you know. So, and I'm just gonna say that to say like I got a song called Married to Money, and I said bike parked in my living room, pop pussy like an inner tube, and so on and so forth. And motherfuckers was like, what? And I was like, so the story behind that little segment, I have a dirt bike. It was parked in my living room at the time, you know, and I was having sex on the dirt bike and popped the inner tube. So, you know, when I told my dogs that story, they was looking like you, but you know, it was like, wow, you know, like you put that in the rap, bro. Okay. Like,
that's a good way to flip that though.
Yeah, for sure. So like, yeah, like that's the way I approach my music. It's like just hella authentic. You know what I'm saying? And if you know me, like, you know.
That video will be raw. It ain't gonna front.
I actually shot a video to it too. Like it's a nice video. Like it's a nice video. I ain't do too much, but it's nice for sure. It was shot in Atlanta by Play by Play Films. Shout out to
Is
them.
it out already or?
Yeah, it's on my YouTube.
Out?
It's on my YouTube.
Okay.
Just YouTube, Heff Banks.
What's the name of that song for just the audience?
Married to Money.
Married to
Produced
Money.
by Cam Beats. Gotta get the producers they love to.
No, for sure. All right, I swear I got one more question just because Rod had brought up something that I find interesting and I kind of want to know about is like, you know, networking in Chicago. Like you got your people around you, you know, your people from, you know, the next street over, but what is it like to network with other artists? Is it something that's easy? Is it easy to find shows to perform at and different venues and stuff like that? Or is it kind of just tough at this point in time?
It's tough, but like, you know, like if there's a will, there's a way. So like I'm always on the Instagram, on the internet, like I said, hunting, looking for people to collab with. And sometimes I understand like I gotta go to people's shows and their events in order, you know, like to, you know what I'm saying, get the reciprocation. And I'm not sounding cocky, but y'all, like I swear, y'all, I just work so hard on my music. You know what I'm saying? Like I really like hone in and try to perfect my sound. You know what I'm saying? So when I come off stage, like people coming up to me like, or I'm coming up to people like, man, you dope. Like let's, you know, swap Instagrams or something like that. Or it's vice versa. When I'm coming off stage, people like, you know what I'm saying? Then what I do is like, and I'm like, this is a tip for any artist out there. Like, you know, once I come off stage and like I done made my presence felt, I instantly look for the promoter. You know what I'm saying? Then I tell the promoter, like, look, I'm a part of a collective and we throw parties as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind mixing my crowd with your crowd. Like, let's come together and do something. So a lot of times that's how, you know, it work out as well. Because like I said, my group, we built our name through the city off of throwing parties. Like no one has ever like got hurt at our parties. It's never been a fight. It's never been like so much as an argument at one of our parties because we understand how how important having a safe environment is. Like people got to feel comfortable in order to want to come outside. So we made that first. You know what I'm saying? And we stand on that. And like people love being, like I said, my reach in the world is actually bigger than on Instagram. And I'm like, I'll take that any day.
And that's a big tip because, you know, a lot of people are always looking for what they can get from people. And you get a lot more when you offer something first, when you can show like, this is what my value to you is.
For sure. And that's how I build all my relationships. I let everybody know, like, look, I'm going to do my, not to sound, like I said, to sound like an asshole, but I just want to get it understood. Like, we going to use each other the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I offer. This is what I think you know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the cards on the table, how can we do this together? You know what I'm saying? And even a lot of times when I collab with people on events, I'll let them take the Eventbrite so they can see the numbers first. You know what I'm saying? Just to try to build some type of trust. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know what my crowd's going to look like.
No, that's real. That's real. But listen, man, thank you, Heff Banks, for coming through. We appreciate you for, you know, this great conversation that we had.
Sure.
So, yeah, we're going to post everything, you know, Heff Banks related in the description. You know, his Instagram, his music and stuff like that. So definitely check out Heff Banks.
Yes, sir.
Or the
Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. But this has been
Let's leave the floor open to anything he want to say with his socials or anything coming out.
Now, the first thing I want to say was this was amazing, guys. Like, you know, I appreciate y'all. Like, absolutely. Y'all really made, like, this is one of my favorite interviews off the bat, just off the tweet section alone. Like, you guys got it. You know, and like, I also, you know, like, I just peeped, like, you know, how you got, I kind of felt that you guys were paying attention. You know what I'm saying? And I really like the way you guys approached how you guys did everything. You know, I really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? So you guys can follow me on everything at Heff Banks. You know, I follow back. You know, just tap in with me. Hit like on a few of my pictures. You know, I dress well sometimes.
For sure.
Thank you.
But Heff Banks, make sure it's at Heff Banks, right?
Yes, sir. H-E-F-F.
At Heff Banks.
Banks. B-A-N-K-S.
Absolutely. This has been the Friends Podcast, and we out. Peace out.
Peace.